Hey to the most amazing nurses. It is Dr. V here with Morning Infusion with Dr. V podcast, where we are intentional about teaching nurses how to work from anywhere around the world, making money and owning your own time, building profitable nurse coaching and consulting businesses. You will hear from amazing guests that have grown their companies and want to share insight into how you can do the same to change the face of healthcare as we know it. If you want to grow your businesses and leverage your knowledge as a nurse to grow wildly successful businesses at the top, instead of working your way to the top, head on over and join our Millionaire Nurse CEO group on Facebook, where you can ask questions and get updates on our live and virtual events to help you grow your businesses. So good morning, everyone. So this morning we have Miss Soodabeh. All right. So first of all, I want you to like, share, subscribe. So if you're on YouTube, I want you to subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, like and comment. And if you're on Spotify, Apple, I want you to download the actual podcast and also leave us a review, because we want to know how well we're doing, because we want to increase the awareness of the amazing nurses that we interview here. And so I'm going to jump right into. So Miss Soodabeh, tell us a little bit about you. Like, if you had to describe yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Well, good morning, Dr. Viola. How are you today? Well, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak and be on your team. Yes, how do I describe myself? I experienced a lot of challenges, and overcoming all the adversity led me to find my life purpose as the messenger of hope and healing. So I call myself a messenger, in short.
I love it. Now, you have a very interesting story. So tell us a little bit about, so you lived in Iran, right?
Yes,
Now,
correct.
did you become a nurse before coming to America or after?
Both. I
Oh,
was a nurse over there.
okay. So now tell me because I was asked this question because I never wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be an engineer. So I just wondered why y'all wanted to be nurses. Okay. So go ahead. Tell me why you wanted to be a nurse.
And that is a great question, because that was not my dream. That was my mother's dream. So that's what I said. That was a wonderful question. And I lost my father to a sudden heart attack when I was 13 years old. And growing up, every time somebody would ask me, and before even my father passed away, I would say I want to be a teacher or a doctor. I had no idea where did that come from. I thought that everybody knew what they wanted to be. So after my father passed away, I experienced it was the beginning of a long journey of depression for me. I didn't want to study. I didn't want to get out of the bed. My mom was a teacher. She was very strict. We were four children that she had to take care of, and my parents had adopted a girl that was my age. So my mom was responsible for taking care of five kids after my father died. I was the oldest one of them. And then it was difficult for her. She had to work two jobs to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Of course, in the culture, and long time ago, she had to make sure that everybody's behaving. And I couldn't, I couldn't get myself to live without my father. And for my mom, experiencing the loss and taking care of everyone, it was hard for her to just sit down and say, "Hey, how are you guys doing?" So I was very shy, withdrawn from life. And because of that, I couldn't have my grades high enough to pass the entrance exam for the medical school. But I had enough grade, enough score, like SAT. I had enough score to become a nurse, go to, take any other classes. My mom, who was a teacher, her dream was to be a nurse. But at that time, for whatever reason, her father wanted her to be a teacher. They didn't think that the nursing was a good profession for whatever reason. Yes, there were lots of rules, right? And then my mom said, well, just why don't you try? And I am grateful for my mom that told me and encouraged me that to do that, because I fell in love with what I was doing. Because growing up from a mindset of not good enough and not beautiful enough and not tall enough, or whatever that enoughness was in my head, was when I am with my patients, when I I felt like it was safe for me to be there. That was my calling. That was something that I was born with. So that is just the long story of a short version.
Become a nurse.
Yeah.
It's interesting because what happens, I think a lot of times, so we think that these are these interruptions that happen in our lives. And
Mhm.
those interruptions come, and we think that they are bad things, when the reality is that they are good things, and we understand a lot. Because I remember suffering from postpartum depression, and I remember, because I just couldn't figure out, like, why can't you get up? Like, what's that
Mhm.
deal? What is going on? And once I understood that, how it felt, in order to do that, I became more empathetic to my patients
Mhm.
as it relates to that. But also, there's just some interruptions in your life that you don't even understand. Like, you not being able to get into medical school, interruptions that, lead you with the trajectory of where you need to go, because, we think we got it all figured out. Guys, you, you're cute, okay?
Yes,
But
yes.
I really have this whole thing figured out for you. So I love, love, love that. Now, how did this happen? You became an activist in Iran, correct?
Yes, yes. And I did not want to, but I got, went in that direction.
Well, how was it that you didn't want to, but you were in that? Help me out with that.
Yes. Anyway, I when I was 18 years old, it was 1979. Okay, don't calculate how old I am. Anyway, yes, when I was 18 years old, the revolution took place in Iran. Before revolution, it was a westernized country. My family would come to America for summer vacation or go to Europe for spring vacation. We could dress up, whatever we wanted to, any religious belief that we wanted to. We had people of all walk of life, different religions and everything. And then the government took over, the new government. They were a really radical Islamic group that they did not believe in Islam. They were just like literally fascist government, that they wanted to take everybody back to um, hundreds of years ago, take everybody's right away, because that way they were able to rule. So when that happened, I was a nursing student. I was 19 years old. I was a nursing student, and they decided to close all the colleges and universities all over the country. That was, their attempt to, because Iran was is famous for educated people. At other places we may say they, is people have this much money and they are, famous or celebrities or whatever. In Iran, when I was growing up, it was education. It was the class was based on education. And my mom, was always just education, education, education. So when they started that, they decided that they wanted to close all the colleges and universities. So of course, all the professors and teachers and students, they said, well, you cannot do that. And 1 year after you came, you are taking the education out of a country or society, would make people not be able to make that decision for themselves. And that was their way of doing. And the reason was because they wanted to expel all of the professors, teachers, students that were not following their ideology. They are not following their what they wanted to. And I was a nursing student. I had a midterm, and with a group of my friends, we said, well, let's just go, because it was one day every city all over the country. We were supposed to go and to the largest university and just protest, like a very peaceful protest, to say that you cannot do that. And in that place, I was captured, I was tortured, and I was beaten into a coma. So I was there doing nothing, just being myself, talking to a group of my classmates when we were ambushed. And that is how it happened.
Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy. And it's interesting because some of the things that you talk about is some of the things that I almost feel like happens is hopefully won't ever happen in America, but may happen in America based on the current things that are going currently on today. So it's important. A lot of people really, and I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, but I am here to tell you that you need to look at the evidence, and the evidence is on the wall as it relates to that, and what happens on that end. So now you were released, I guess, at some point in time, correct?
Yes, I was in a coma for 1 week, and my mom didn't know where I was. And the whole story is in the books, because it is a long story how I, with the grace of God, and I get goosebumps every time I talk about it, that literally my life was saved, and I was released, and I was able to go home. Um, and then that another way or wave of depression set, because my mom had already warned all of her kids, do not get involved, and I did not follow her guidance, and she was really upset.
Mm, yeah. Because she's like, I'm trying to save your life.
Yeah,
Mama's always trying to save your life. I don't know
yeah,
why these children don't listen, but anyway, yeah. I honestly get it. I'm making light of the situation, but
yes.
you do get it for sure. So you ended up coming to America at some
Hmm.
point in time.
Hmm.
So what led to that?
Yes, I got married. I went. I was able, because let me go back. When about a year after the whole ordeal, um, they decided to open all the colleges, some of the colleges and universities, because already they started a war with Iraq. The war that started with no reason whatsoever, and they realized, the government realized that we need doctors and nurses. So they reopened some of a small, and that was another blessing, that I was able to go back to school and get my degree as a nurse. And in that part, I had a boyfriend, again, without my mom's permission or agreement.
When you rebel yourself.
Apparently. so so uh, in spite of everybody's disagreement and everything, no, we gotta get married. So my husband was activist, and when I got married, and because I had already experienced being tortured and in coma, and I was one of the lucky ones to survive. There were lots of people that they were killed, they were shot, they were paralyzed, they were raped. There were so many things that happened, and I knew if I continue that path, and now that I'm married and I'm gonna have kids, that was not for me. But my husband believed that, you can take care of, you can go to work, take care of the kids, but I am gonna, fight for democracy, because we really needed that. And it was in that journey I had a son. We had a son. He was 4 years old, and I was 7 months pregnant when he came home one night and said, my life is in danger and I have to escape. He already discussed that with his family first, and they believed that the best thing for him would be to escape because he had a brother and sister in America to join him. And I was 7 months pregnant with a little baby, 4 year old son. We had to literally sell everything that we had, and I had to go back and live with my mom. That long journey again, is all in the books. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and there was no way of him or tell me that you can come next month or next year or whatever. There was nothing. It was uncertainty, and also I couldn't tell anything to my family. I couldn't tell anything to my coworkers that my husband wasn't there because it was danger. It would put me in danger. I would go from my mom's home and a little bit to my mother-in-law, to sister-in-law, to my brothers. It was really a dangerous and scary place for a little, I was young. I was in my 20s with two kids. And I had a brother that was about a year and a half younger than me. And he was married. They had a 40-year-old son, and his wife was 7 months pregnant. Exactly the same situation that my husband left. And he said, Soodabeh, I don't think your husband wants you anymore. And it's 3 years. Let me get my passport and take you and the kids to Turkey because that was the closest American embassy to us. And we can see, maybe they can feel sorry for you. How long can you live like this? This is crazy. And because I didn't have any support system, I literally was working 15 days in a row, one day off, 15 days in a row, taking two buses, taking two little kids to the daycare. And it was very, very difficult situation for me. He was working on his passport, and he passed away in a car accident.
Mm. 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 That's,
Yeah.
ooh, very tragic. So now, but his wife was still you. So then what happened? Listen, wait a minute. We're gonna go to commercial break, and then you're gonna tell us what happened after the end. I didn't expect that to come. Okay, all right, here we go. Our live event is going down twice a year in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, called the Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference. We will be covering the blueprint and master plan to grow a wealthy and flourishing company. We love that you listen to the podcast, but we want you in the room. We will be sharing insights on marketing and sales strategies so that you are able to create more impact and make more money, creating more freedom so that you can do the things that you love. So join us for the nursing event of the century. Go to vpnursing.com to sign up for this life-changing event. Okay, we're back with Soodabeh. So now tell me what happened after your brother passed away.
After my brother passed away, my husband felt sorry for me. And I didn't know any of those until I got here. He felt sorry and he said, don't worry, I am going to arrange you and the kids to go to stay with a friend of mine in Turkey. And go, he's going to help you, take you to American Embassy and see what happens. So long journey, 2 months in Turkey. So many things happens that I'm not going to go into. Almost lost my daughter's life. And we came here. I came here to find out that my family was right. He didn't love me. He didn't want me. He didn't even want his kids. And he already had a different life.
So he had already married someone else?
He had a girlfriend.
Had a girlfriend. I ain't gonna talk about him. He's your children's father. I was gonna talk about it, but I ain't gonna talk about it. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, so that is crazy. And as a result, what are some of the things that happen as a result of that?
Yes, for me at that moment, I was just exhausted. I was exhausted. I said, there is no point for me to live any longer because look at everything that happened to me. And my kids are here. They have an aunt, they have an uncle, they have their father. I don't care. I'm just going to end my life. So obviously that didn't happen because I'm sitting here. And when I woke up, I realized I mean, it didn't happen just all of a sudden, right? It was a long journey of figuring out why. Why have I suffered so much? Why every time that I came close to life and death situation, because I was a nurse working in a hospital during 80 years of senseless war. It was life and death, it was destruction that I saw. And all of that, I went, in coma. I tried to end my life. Why? What is the purpose for me? Where did I come from? Where am I going? And in that journey, in that process, that asking the question and praying, like, God, please help me, show me a way. I know that you have saved my life. You better tell me that my life is really worth living because right now I don't have any hope or anything. And in that process, literally, that's why I named my first book Angel Nightingale, because the angels in human form that came into my life and helped me, provided clothes for my kids, helped me to take me places when my daughter was sick in the middle of night, staying in ER. I don't know, it was literally a miracle for me, and the way that everything, the doors opened up. Because when I believe when we make that conscious decision to do whatever that we can to change our life and create something better, doors of opportunity will open up because that is the only way. We have the choice uh, to say, I am the victim of all these craziness and whatever that we experience in life, or we say that this happened to me, but I am going to take my life. I am going to take control of my life. I am going to do something because I have two kids, for example, that they are relying on me, and they didn't want to come this world. I brought them this world. This is my responsibility to help them to have a better life. And that was the fire that was within me that came, and I discovered the courage that I have never thought was possible with the grace of God. And I was able not only to go back to school, learn the language because I couldn't speak English. I was left alone with two kids, no money, no family, no friends, no nothing. And strangers came to my rescue and helped me. And I did it and worked really hard, raised the kids, went back to school, got my nursing degree, and I had everything. And then came when everything was perfect. I worked hard. In just a couple of years, I was able to buy my first home. I was able to buy my brand new car. And then, like, okay, now what?
Mm-hmm.
I have everything. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
Then that was the uh, awakening. That was the time that I realized there is a reason for me to be here, and I need to say yes to the calling that is greater than just being a nurse.
Soodabeh, I really like what you said, because when as it relates to like how your perspective would be either your passport or your prison. right? And so the reality is that you have to ensure that what you have dealt with in your past, and a lot of people, what happens is they get depressed because of their past. Because it's either going to be a depression, which is going to be your prison, or it's going to be your passport. And you looked at the past and you were like, listen, I done been through all this. I've been in a coma. You know, they tried to beat me to death, and then that didn't happen. I've come to America. I couldn't speak English. I didn't have any money. I come over here, and my husband's got a girlfriend. He's living a whole different life. He doesn't want me. My brother's passed away in a car accident. All that stuff. And a lot of times what happens is people look at those things as trauma, and they look at those things as, I can't do it. If you say you can't do it, you can't. If you say you can, you can't. Either one is right. You have to choose it. And what you said about making a decision is an incredible way of thinking about it. Because I think that what happens a lot of times is that some people, they have that thought process that I'm a victim. I'm not a victim of anything. God designed everything. He let it happen. So I need to understand the reason why he let it happen. Because because a lot of people, what they do is they struggle with the fact that God let it happen because he's a sovereign God. Okay. And so when he lets it happen, you're like, well, why did he let that happen to me? Just don't question it. Learn from it, move forward. Anytime you're going through anything, just know that you're going to learn a lesson. Take the lesson and keep it moving. The problem is, and I used to always think this too, you know, I'm far removed from that now, but I used to always think, why is God doing this? And I don't have to ask God why. Listen, I know you're taking me through this, God, because of such and such. So just let me know the reason why you're taking me through this, so I can get up out of here, so that we can go on with the purposes of life that we have. And so I love how you handle that. Now, you are working with your purpose. So you're author and you're a speaker. Now tell me what you do now.
Yes, thank you so much. I wrote when people came to my rescue, and everybody that were like, "Who are you? Where did you come from? What is your story?" For example, and I would tell them, "I'm like, you gotta write a book. Oh my God, you lived 10 lives in one." And like, who am I to write a book, right? English is my second language. I never went to school here. How am I going to do that? Then, when we understand the importance of being the messenger, because of our story, our challenges, our victories is going to help someone else, and then you say yes to calling. So I work really, really hard to go and learn creative writing classes, and many, many classes, and hire a wonderful editor that helped me to go dig a lot, because I had to go through the darkness and to come explain it exactly what happened and why I am here. So writing books are you have heard about journaling. So writing books were like journaling, the way that I got everything out. But I also get download, how what to write, what is the message, and those are my calling, that purpose. I wrote 2 books, and I am working on the third books actually. So that's that's coming. Also creating certification program for nurses, and to how to learn the integrative therapy modalities, because when it comes with the first part of it is how to take care of ourselves, because self-care is very important, and this is something that we don't think about ourselves, and we take care of everybody else, and we put ourselves last. So that certification program is something to learn how to take care of ourselves and be the one to create that space for our patients, for our clients, so we can help them to lead a happier and healthier life. So these are the programs. And I am a speaker. I just had a speaking event in Vegas in May, so I'm excited about what is happening or what is coming. So yes,
Love
everything is wonderful.
I love it. And that's it. You know, it's important that you say that too, because again, people think that, you know, it's not going to be wonderful. And the reality is that it is wonderful for you. Like it has been an amazing journey, apparently. Not an amazing journey, but the you on the other side. And some people just don't make it on the other side, right? Because they don't have the mentality to make it on the other side. But you made it on the other side. You said life is wonderful, and then things are just very different. So I appreciate you. I really, really appreciate you. So thank you for telling us your story. So one of the things that we do at the end is with it, we have these rapid fire questions. And so I'm going to have the rapid fire questions for you. So you ready?
Yes,
All
bring
right.
it on.
What has been the most rewarding thing about nursing?
Just being there and helping someone through the darkest, most difficult time, and whether it's a health issues or emotional issues, whatever it is, it's just being there, being that, and providing that safest space for someone to be vulnerable, to allow them to be vulnerable.
I love it. What is the most common misconception about nursing?
Huh. That they have to do everything and never take care of themselves and never get paid and never get,
Well, I thought
experience.
that they said all the money.
Work extra hours and don't even expect any rewarding.
Yes,
Uh,
I love it. I love it. So now, what are you reading now?
what am I reading?
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm. I am working on several books. One of the most important thing, because I went back to school and got my degree in becoming a certified hypnotherapist. So mindset is very important to me. And I'm reading Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of You.
Okay. Okay. Breaking
Because
the habit of you. So what is that
yeah,
about?
it's about how to shift your mindset. And because uh, as we grow up and before the age of 6 and 7, our mindset shapes, right? We learn everything as we are observing everybody, our parents, what they tell us not to do this, and why do you do this, you're not smart enough, all of those things. And those thoughts or those things that we observe, it becomes a habit, it becomes us. So I go through life and that is my identity, that I'm not good enough, for example, I'm not smart enough, I'm not beautiful enough. They were literally mine. And then when I am facing a challenging situation, facing a place that I am in a different country, for example, it's not I am just going into a my situation for everybody to understand. I am like, okay, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. How am I going to go learn another language? How am I going to go to school and get a degree? Breaking the habit of you is just that old version of ourselves, breaking that who we are in order to literally embrace the new us, the one that says breaking all the ceilings, all the barriers, and say, no, that was the past self, the past beliefs. They weren't even my thoughts, they weren't even my
Ooh,
beliefs.
that's a word right there. That's
Mhm.
a word right there.
Yeah.
That was spoken to you.
Yes.
Not yours.
Yes, the
Ooh, that's
lies.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
the lies that I was told, the lies that I was perceived, the lies that we all do. and it all of these thoughts, all of these beliefs is stores in our subconscious mind. And everything that the reason that we procrastinate, the reason that we self-sabotage, the reason that we act, react, whatever we do based on that 95% that we're not even aware of. It took me many years of working with a hypnotherapist to go and figure out, oh, the reason I do this is because of that old beliefs. There's something that so Joe Dispenza is amazing. Is how he just breaks down to understand why we do this, the thing that we do. And for me, for people that they want to be successful, and the people that they are successful, is just literally breaking the habit, the old self, and digging, going deep. And that's how, or what I do working with my clients, to work with that self sabotaging behavior, that procrastination, that everything that tells you that you cannot do that. Who are you to make money? Who are you to write a book? Who are you to speak? Who are you to be X, Y, and Z? And why not me?
Exactly.
Why not me?
Exactly. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now, what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned in business?
In business, that it is okay to pause and take care of yourself.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
It is okay to do that, and then when you're ready, then you can move. Because sometimes in business we learn that go, 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 go. If we not constantly going, or not constantly searching for something, it's not going to happen. The client is not going to come, or nothing. It's not true. Is just take care of yourself. I get the download and the guidance and the solution when I just sit in my backyard and connecting with Mother Nature. And it feels so good to just not do anything. Or I'm in the shower or washing dishes. It is just take care of yourself. When we take care of ourselves, then the doors open up, and because we are relaxed, the download happens.
Gotcha. I love it. Now, who is the leader, living or dead, that you want to have a conversation with?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Who is a leader, living or dead, that you want to have a conversation with?
Hmm. Oprah. She has always been my role model. She's the reason that I learned. She was my teacher. In I can say that she has been so many people's teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She's the reason that every time when I was lost in the darkest place of my life and searching for answer, I came home after work and turning on the TV, and she was talking, and there were authors, and I went and read all the books that she was talking about, and I found my way. So she is the one. And the leader did is that again, the woman that has always inspired me and want me to be at this age, because I'm in my 60s, and to just keep going, is Louise Hay, because she's the one that I looked up to. She's the one that overcame cancer, and when she was 60 years old, she just started her teaching and created the whole publishing world. And she is the one that I always like, okay, Louise, what should I do?
That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, what is your favorite movie?
Oh my, I can't think about anything right now. Oh, actually, I can say about a show, maybe Touched by an Angel.
Oh, yeah, I love that too. It's so refreshing, so warm.
Right. I cannot think about a movie, but yes.
Show. How do you define success?
Feeling content.
Mm,
Feeling content, being you.
I love it. Now, what is your life's motto?
Um, Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and you got it.
I love it.
Just go for it.
So where can everyone find you?
I all of the social media is my name, and my website soodabehmokry.com, on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. Soodabehmokry.com.
You know, I guess Soodabeh, is Soodabeh a common name in Iran?
Very like Mary and Joe and John. Yeah.
I was so upset that my name was Viola until I went to the ER. And when I went to the ER, they called Ashley, and 5 people answered, and then they called Viola, and I answered. And I was like, oh, this is because, in high school and in middle school, it was just something that I just really didn't like, right? Because I was set apart. But we're set apart because we're amazing. I love it.
We are.
It just is what it is, right? So it was amazing having you on the show. So again, I'll ask that you like, share, comment on the podcast. Also, if you could download the podcast on Apple and Spotify, leave us a comment, a review. Please, please, please leave us a review. And then also as well on YouTube, if you could hit that subscribe button. The guy that was on is a marriage podcast, and he was like, you know what? You've been shacking with us long enough. Okay, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can get the notifications, and so we can serve you a lot better, because we want to be intentional about elevating the voices of nurses, because we are the ones who can really, really change the face of healthcare as we know it. So you ladies and gentlemen, you have an amazing rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.